In the video, the last video that I posted on my Maserati, I was doing a diagnostic on the passenger side door because the window just decided it was going to roll itself down, and it didn't fall down, so it's not like, it's not the window regulator for sure. And the code, the fault that I was getting was mirror slash motor actuations, which to me was a little peculiar. I've never seen something like that be bad or go bad. I cleared it. The car was good for about a week and a half. And then the other day, it was another hot day again, and I got in the car to drive off pretty much into the sunset, and the window went down. So just kind of, you know, rolled itself down. And of course it would go back up, but I'm not gonna drive around with a car that just decides that it wants to roll the window down all of a sudden. So what I did is I went and ordered a new control module for the door. So one thing to know is that the control module for each door on these Quattroportes controls everything for the door. So your electronic door latches, the lighting, the puddle lights, it controls the mirrors, it controls your windows, rolling up and down, it controls everything for that door. When that starts to go bad, what you'll get is that code, the actuations code. I was a little hesitant to order the control module for this door because in my mind, well, what if it's this door that's having that fault? But what if it's the driver's side control module that's failing and causing this window to go down? But when I started thinking about, okay, well, no, because then I wouldn't be getting a code for this specific control module. So at any rate, it was not a very cheap part. I think it was like $400 for the switch and the module. So I will show you, I already started to pull off this, this panel. So, and you just kind of, it's like a, I'm not sure, you just kind of, it just comes off. And you kind of set this off in a safe place. I like how they put, I don't know, oh, it is metal. I like how they did the same thing BMW did, and that is press the veneer onto metal and glue it onto metal, because then it's not going to deform, it's not going to come off, it's just going to stay a lot better than, you know, Mercedes-Benz. Okay, so here you have a few screws that you have to get out. I don't really, this is a new repair for me on these cars. I'm not sure if somebody has been in this door before. I would assume so because there's unclean screw holes in this door, which is disappointing. And again, it leads me back to, if you don't know what you're doing on any car, not just a Quattroporte or a Maserati or a European car, it's any car. If you don't know what you're doing, do not touch it. Let somebody else do it, because you're gonna end up costing yourself, or when you sell the car, someone else, a lot of money because of your mindlessness. So we will go ahead and take this off, and then we'll get the control module out, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is how I kind of, sort of know that somebody has been in this door, and it's really frustrating for me. So this pad that goes here, it has little broken tabs here. Somebody, and then there's cuts here, and I know someone's been in here, and this is really frustrating. Anyways, the control module, it sits right underneath here. Okay, and this is it. right there. And how it comes out is, so there's a screw that goes in the top. So there's a screw that goes right there at the bottom of the module. I had a really hard time getting that bitch back in when I unplugged it, because when I unplugged it, of course, there's nothing else. Like when you unplug it, there's no way to roll the window down. There's no way to use the electronic door latch, and or the LED. I suppose maybe it's a little fortuitous that that somebody was in here and broke these before me, because if I would have broken them, I would have been really mad at myself for obvious reasons. So, okay, so we unscrewed that, and then it just kind of comes up like this. And you scoop it out like that. So I left this one plugged in because I thought maybe if one was plugged in, then the door would lock. And then you pull it out like that. Try not to let it fall down into the door, because you don't want to take the door apart. So this is where I get a little confused about this. So let's say that it's raining really hard, or someone left the window open. If a lot of water gets on these, I mean, there's nothing. I suppose I could take this apart and kind of do some like poking around to see exactly what we're looking at or talking about. I don't like your guys' angle. It makes me look fat. I think that's better. Okay, so I could do some poking around, I suppose, to see how it failed. But what I noticed is when I would go over like a quick dip or a bump in the road, or hump, I should say, if I went over a quick hump, the window would all of a sudden go down. So it's almost like the switch was just super close to contact, so it just automatically went down. So let's see what happens when we plug in the new one. So this is the new one. Again, the parts guy at Maserati San Diego, the wholesale parts guy, he loved me again when I left there. So this was a little difficult for me to put in the first time. I had to take the top off. I don't really like that. Oh. Okay, so there is two plugs. There's one of these that kind of clamps itself down. Oh, you guys are so far away. So there's one of these types right here that clamps itself down. Let me see if I can. Right there, like that. It clamps itself down. You plug it in, and then you kind of pull. So you pull this right here. You pull that down. Oh, it's so hard to do with one hand. And then here, you just plug it in. Make sure it's nice and in. And then let's see what happens. Hopefully the window doesn't roll down as soon as we plug it back in. Stupid. Oh boy. So I'm just looking inside of the plug to make sure that all the wires are attached properly, because that could also do it. And it looks good. Oh, and this is what I ran into last time. I'm gonna have to take the cap off. There we go. So the cap doesn't do, okay, so I'm gonna have to take this cap off. It doesn't do anything, it's just a cover. So I think I'll probably just leave it popped a little bit, and then we can see and hope it needs to come off. I'm gonna have to put you guys back, I'm sorry. So see, the cap just comes off like this. And then it allows you a little bit more space to go right in. There you go. I was hoping we didn't have to do that, but... And then so the cap goes in, like that. There we go. Now we'll start the car, see if the window just automatically rolls down, and let's keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't. Where's my keys? All right, let's see what we got. It didn't roll itself down. What? So there we go. All fixed. We didn't roll ourselves down automatically. We're good to go. So now I can turn the car back off and make sure everything's tidy and tight, put it all back together, and we're good to go. So on this, hold on just a second. Okay, so on this job, if something like this was to happen, even my parts guy from Maserati said, "Oh, your window regulator went bad." And I said, no, it's not the regulator. It rolls up and down. It's just that it rolls itself up and down. And he just kind of looked at me like, what? And I had to explain to him that I had a fault code for this control module. So, and he said that it's really odd. He doesn't see that all the time. And he even had to order the part in. So if a dealership doesn't actually keep a part in stock, it's probably something that isn't very common for them, is what I learned. This job would have probably cost you $2,000, maybe. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of money for just something that took me less than 5 minutes. Okay, so here we are. It's all back together. Actually, you guys have a better view up there. I'm sorry. Here we are. It's better. Everything fits. We're good to go. Again, thank goodness, because I really didn't like that. That was a little annoying. I'll keep you updated on the control module if that was compromised in some way, if there was water damage. I'm not really sure. It's a little peculiar. It seemed to just do it all of a sudden, so I have no idea. But I will keep you guys up to date. But thank you for tuning into this and watching my my easy repair. I don't really know what else to say except that I absolutely love my Quattroporte, and so far it hasn't been all that difficult with maintenance. The parts have been a little pricey, but you kind of go into that knowing, and you well, at least you should go into it knowing that the parts are a little bit more expensive really than the competition, or even more expensive, I should say. Not more expensive than the competition, because the competition for this car would have been the S-Class, and I suppose the CL could have been technically considered competition. So would I consider this more expensive than the CL door latch or the CL control module for the passenger side door? No, actually. That module is $900 my cost, which is dealer wholesale cost, and this one was not. So it was nowhere even near $900 for dealer cost. So Again, sorry Mercedes, but you're falling short right and left. I'll see you guys next time. I'm hoping I can get the alternator done soon. I would like to make a video on that. There's no videos on anything like this, or the alternator, or the spark plugs, or anything like that. So I'm really hoping that I can get something up for you guys. It's a little important to me because these cars are not difficult. Once you get some just little shits out of the way and removed from the engine bay, much like a BMW, they're actually really easy to work on. So at any rate, I will see you guys next time. Sorry for the rant, but and it's a little bit of a quick video, I suppose. But I'll see you guys next time, and take care. I hope everyone's staying safe. Bye.